Alright, the final game here, and well, Battlefield, you see that there's Sauna and Avanto on the board, and there's been a lot of talk about that recently. This is the most recent Dominion card ever, right? Sauna and Avanto, and apparently is very good at being a trasher, being a village, being draw. It's tremendously good. So I'm gonna go for the Wiz. However, not straight away because what it looks like you want to do here is be thin. Your only source of draw is the Avanto, which is below the Sauna. So you want those. The village is really Sauna, so you really have to pressure that pile, but you have to be thin for it to work very well. So I want to pick up a Forager for trashing as well as for the plus buy. I'm gonna do that, and my opponent opens 2-5, which is really not where you want to be on this board. He goes for the Embargo, which is fine. And on 5 he goes for the Forager, but 2-5 here you really don't want to be 2-5 on this board. 3-4 I think is a lot better. I go for the Forager and the Conspirator. Conspirator is going to let me hit 5 eventually when I need to for the Avanto, and it, you know, guarantees that it gives me better chances of getting to 4 for my Sauna. So pick up our Sauna here, and I want to pick up our Silver next to start the trashing process as quickly as possible. But my opponent actually slaps the Embargo token down on the Silver, and I spent some time thinking about whether or not to go through that Embargo. Sauna is pretty good at trashing, is what I've heard. I haven't actually seen it clean up myself. Like, I've trashed with it, but like normal people, not like, I haven't seen it trash big time, and I didn't want to test it out in a league match. So instead of going for the Silver, I opted for another Forager. I mean, the plus buy is of course worth something in this game, seeing as how it is the only source, but I'm inclined to say going for that Silver there isn't terrible, because you could pick up a lot of Saunas, and then it starts to trash very quickly. So 2 Saunas for me, 1 for my opponent, and yeah, unfortunately only 2 for my opponent, picking up another Embargo here. The Conspirator gets me to another Sauna. I'm all too happy to pick up these Saunas. I now have the split. I have 3 of them, and actually I'm going to pick up 4 of them because my opponent only has 3 here with the enough for a dungeon. So here, a lucky draw for me. I had the lucky draw from the beginning, right, on the 3-4, and this just continues here. I'm going to trigger the Conspirator, and I trashed with the Foragers in such a way to get me up to 4 for the last one. So I have 4 of those, just need to get 3 of the Avantos, and I'll be in good shape. Oasis for my opponent, he's not hitting price points, right? He's not hitting price point, which is real bad for him. Maybe he wanted a Silver, I'm not sure. 4 for me here is going to be another Conspirator. Seems an appropriate time to put it in the deck, given that I have 4 Saunas. So the 4 Saunas, I think, is winning the Sauna split is better than winning the Avanto split here, a little bit, because there's Conspirator, and you can activate your Conspirators more reliably with the Saunas, but that could just be a bunch of junk, right, if you win the Avanto split. No, I think the Sauna is a little bit more important, just because of the Conspirator. So my opponent's Embargo comes out, and he slaps it onto the dungeons. So I don't have one, that's understandable, he would put it there. So maybe instead of his opening Embargo, that should have been a Duchess, because he wasn't hitting price points, right? And he liquidated the Embargo very quickly. Whereas if he had the Duchess in his deck, that would have been like Silver Forager opening, and he would have had that money for longer. So perhaps that's something to look at. Another Avanto for my opponent, and here you're going to see the brilliance of Sauna and Avanto. I'm going to find one of my Avantos. I'm going to play Conspirator first, because I know that card isn't an Avanto. But I am going to trigger the shuffle to try to look for the Avanto. So, trashing the Overgrown Estate. Nope. Sauna, yes. Sauna, yes. And here's the Avanto. And it lets me play Sauna, getting me a couple actions. And I drew 3 cards, and I drew the deck. brilliance of Sauna and Avanto. It's brilliant. It's such an elegant card. It's very nicely designed. I believe the Finnish people, or the Finnish board game people, wanted a card that was somehow related to Finland, and they do this thing in Finland. They, be in saunas and then go to Avantos, which is cold water, and then come back into saunas and back into the Avanto. That's something Finnish people do apparently. Very elegantly designed and elegant on the playmat here. So I'm up and running, and buying out the last two Avantos was, a big deal. I have what, 3 of them and 4 saunas. That's real good. Now I can start adding a lot of payload to my deck. Could be conspirators, but really, why put conspirators when you could just put platinum in my deck? I saw the platinum late in this game, which is bad of me. Which is bad. Should pay attention and know that it's a colony game. So I go for a gold and a Duchess. The Duchess, I want to have it stick around for some time, so it's like a silver. I do have the actions to play it, of course. I have no terminals in my deck, actually. That will be the only terminal. In fact, I could probably support 2 or 3 terminals, but I have to draw properly with the Sauna and the Avanto, of course. So my opponent is coming along as well there. They've picked up a goal just now. I have to play this Avanto blind, but it does find me a Sauna, so that is good for me. And yeah, having no problems drawing through the deck at this point. I am in fact overdrawing by a big deal. So here, the last copper comes out from my deck, so I have to find some things for my forage out the trash. So this Duchess is kind of bad because it gives my opponent the opportunity to discard something bad from the top of his deck, or unfavorable anyway. But I want the money, right? 11 here is going to be platinum, I believe, and I'm going to pick up an Embargo at this point. So the Embargo has a little trick as well as a copper for my forage out the trash. So 1 forage out trash, a copper. I'll probably get rid of the Duchess because I don't want to really help my opponent, and I'm not really going to make use of the Duchess ability. The Embargo has the cute trick where if I buy something from an embargoed pile, I get a curse. I could feed that curse to my forager, which is real nice. Which is real nice. So I don't have to spend my extra buys buying coppers as I did here. Just buy something from the embargoed pile, and the forager will be more than happy to gobble up those curses. So I'm going to cut the Duchess down here, as well as the copper, and place my embargo token on the conspirators. Because that's something I could see myself potentially buying in the future. So this is like kind of opposite thinking for what you would usually do for embargo. Usually they tell you, okay, put the token on a pile that you don't want to buy from. Here I want to do the opposite. I want to put the token on a pile that I will buy from, so I could get the curses to trash. So platinum is an easy call here, and I'm going to pick up a dungeon actually and a conspirator. So you saw a couple turns ago that I had to play that Avanto blind. Luckily I drew into a Sauna, but as the deck gets bigger, that is going to become less and less likely. So the dungeon is going to help in the end here pair up Saunas and Avantos and get it running nice and smooth, nice and elegant. And it gives me a couple of curses, which the forager of course likes. So my opponent is up and running here, has 11, or more than 11 actually, has 14, goes for platinum at this point, and actually surprises me here, picks up a duchy. Not sure what the duchy is about. Is it just for battlefield points and something for your forager to trash? Not entirely sure why he picked up the duchy. I mean, the conspirator is there, right? Maybe he was discouraged by the token, I'm not sure, but you could get a forager instead of the duchy. I mean, sure, battlefield points are a thing, but we are going to get to a point soon where we could probably double colony if we continue building. So here, yeah, see the full extent of the deck here. I am 1 short of double colony at this point, I believe. again, really it's just one-way traffic, right? I just have to build sensibly and I'll win the game. From the time I won that Sauna and Avanto split, that was effectively the end of the game. I just have to be careful and make sensible moves. So I do pick up a second dungeon here. I want to have one in play all the time and a gold. So I only have one curse, but I am prepared to play with just two buys for the next couple turns, which I expect to be the last two turns of the game because I can double colony now. So I'll double colony next turn and the turn after, and that'll be a lot of colonies. I don't think my opponent could take over the lead after that point, and then single colony from there should be the end of it. Picks up a duchy again here. I'm going for the battlefield points, but that is not an issue at all for me because I'm, like I said, able to double colony and split the battlefield points with him. It gives you points every time you buy a victory card or gain a victory card, something like that. Anyway, so after this turn, I believe my opponent resigns. Well, they take their turn and then they resign. Yeah, because they had to play their Avanto dead and they didn't find a Sauna, unfortunately. So they resign after their turn. So that is how the match finishes. 5 points for me. I drew well in some of them. That donate one was weird. But yeah, this Sauna Avanto thing is beautiful. Beautiful. Popular opening is Sauna Silver actually, and it gets you up and run. Apparently, I haven't tried it. But Sauna Avanto, very, very nice. Alright, thank you for watching the match. Please leave comments on any of the videos. Like I said, this is brand new stuff to like both me and my opponent and to you as well, I'm sure. And I would love to hear your ideas, your thoughts, your opinions, feedback, and see you.